Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So it's my friends at yarnspirations.com. Today we have the never-ending granny square that is considered a solid. I used 3 balls of Bernat blanket in one color, another, and another. So there's only 3 balls total. What you'll see in this baby blanket size is that the color just followed the gray. You can see that it goes out once, twice, 3, 4, 5, and 6 times. So this is where the yarn will finish. So you can stop or add more yarn at any time. And our key factors to get ourselves started right here. When we use the yarn, we use 3 yarns all at the same time, and we just got to make sure that we're just following. So once the yarn below runs out, we stop, we grab another piece of yarn, and we keep on building and building and building. And the advantage of this is that you never have a slip stitch corner at all sides are equal. So what happens though is that you will end up with one side having the yarn just kind of look like it just comes off the edge. So it just goes right to the edge, which I'll show you. So this was using an 8mm size L crochet hook, and on camera I'm just going to use a 5.5mm size I with just Red Heart Super Saver as a demonstration yarn today. First of all, grab the first color that you want to work with and create a slip knot and chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, let's move on to the first round. Going 4th chain from the hook, just count it backwards. So 1, 2, 3, and go 4. Get the back hump of the chain and just double crochet. So the chains that we just skipped is also considered a double crochet stitch. So you actually see 2 there, 2 double crochet. So I want you to just go across your chain with just double crochet until you get to the very last chain. Do you think that you could do a longer chain? Absolutely. So this here is just for the size that you saw on the camera. On the very last stitch here, I've already just put in 1, but what I want to do is that I want to put in 2 into this so far. So I got 1 and 2 into the last one. Then I want to chain 2, 1 and 2, and in the same one where those 2 are coming out, I want you to put in 3 double crochet. And noticing that I'm just slightly turning the project as I go. So I've officially just created the first corner right there. Now I'm going to chain 2 to create another corner, and in the same one where these are all coming out of, place only 2 double crochet in there. So 1 and 2. This is the loose end, so just lay it across the chain and catch it underneath, and I want to double crochet all of them except for the very final one right here. Okay, this is a turning chain, so we're just going to double crochet across. So I'm now on the underside of the chain. So we now just are creating a full circle. Okay, now what we want to do is right here at the base of this one, we're going to place the following: 2 double crochet. So right into the chain work itself, don't go into a space. So 2 double crochet. Chain 2, so the corners are always chain 2, and then 3 double crochet into that same spot. 1, 2, and 3. Now we can't go any further because we have to add another color, so just pull a large loop, let it sit, and grab a second color of yarn to begin. Creating another slip knot with a new color, coming back to the top of this one right here is where you're going to start. And so you're just going to slip stitch into the top of this chain. Okay, so not the top of the first double here, it's the top of the chain. And let's create an attachment and then chain a total of 2. So 1 and 2, and then moving along, you need to just put 1 double crochet in each of these except for the corner. Go right up over top of that straggler and trap it underneath the stitch work. Okay, so now I just went all of them except for the corner. So in the corner, I'm going to place in the following, and it's always going to be the same. It's always going to be 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. Coming along the short edge here, just place 1 double crochet in each. And what do you think you're going to do with the next corner? That's right, you're going to put in 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. So continue along this side, 1 double crochet in each, so with Bernat blanket, this concept goes extremely fast, and you can make it as big as you want to as well. And you'll see that in a bit. So you're coming to this corner here, and so the corners will always be 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. So this corner, technically for the whole thing, is going to be where you would stop at the end of your blanket. So when you're coming around and around and around, you would stop right here, because this is where they're all kind of stopping. So you can't go any further here because you need this bottom layer to be finished in order to continue. So we want to go and add our 3rd color in. So let's begin to do that next. So let's lay this back down, make sure the yarns are not tangled with each other. And sometimes you just have to spin it in order to do that, or just reposition your balls off camera, or in my case off camera, in your case just on the desk or wherever. And we're going to start with our next color next. So with whatever color you're deciding to use as your 3rd color, in this particular concept, I'm only doing 3 colors. So I want to join at the top of this chain 2 that we started with, so not this one right here, and that'll keep it in line. So go right into the stitch work and attach, and then chain 2, and then just start double crocheting along the established. So the hardest part of this whole thing, if there is a hard part at all, is just a matter of getting the first color to go around completely, which is the gray, and that'll be happening soon. So I'm going to double crochet myself all the way to the corner. I'm going right up over top of the straggler to hide that in. You can use a tapestry needle to do a better job if you want to. And what are you going to do with the corners? That's right, it's going to be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So with this concept, you can use any yarn that you wish that makes you happy, I suppose. Okay, so we're just going to double crochet ourselves across the shorter edge. So this will always be the short edge. So this blanket is somewhat rectangle because of the way that I started. And we'll have a square version available, an updated version in the future. Okay, so you're going to come right into the corner. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And then you're going to keep on moving across. So how far do you think you can go? You can only go as far as the corner where all of them are stopping. So it's going to be our next step that is going to be critical, which will establish the whole spiral. Okay, so this is your corner. So you want to complete this corner. Okay, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. And so this color is now done. Pull up the long loop, lay it flat, and we're going to bring back our gray, and we're going to use our gray to go around for the very first time. This is the most critical part of getting yourself around so that it stays equal with each other. So I did a lot of trials on this, and I came up with this concept in my late teens because I was not slip stitching properly. So we want to start at the connection spot where these guys are connected, and we are going to place in 1 double crochet using the gray. Okay, see this chain work right here? That's the chain 2. Go right into the chain work itself and double crochet. So don't go into a space, just go into the chain work. See the connection spot right here? You're going to double crochet there. In the chain 2, just go right here, not at the top one, just right in the chain work. And now you're officially ready for a corner, which will be at the top right here. Okay, so the top here will be your regular corner of 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. Now here's the thing. I need you just for this round, or just for this color, to skip the first double crochet right here and just start on your second one and then just go around with what you already know. So just skip the first one and go to the second and just double crochet in each stitch that you run into. The corners will be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. You're going to double crochet into the remaining, do your corners, and I want you to continue around until you get back to the spot right here, which I will see you there in just a moment. So I'm coming close to where I have to stop on my final corner where all the rest of the colors are stopping and starting. So I'm going to complete the final corner, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. So your blanket should be laying flat at this point anyway. Pull up a large loop, let it hold, and so you're going to come back to whatever color is next. In this case it'll be white. You're going to pick it up, make sure your yarn is untangled so it's just coming right to your hands from the ball. So reposition your balls if you have to. It'll make your life a lot easier, and you can untwist it as well just by turning this around. So continue now, and we're going to start our next color. So coming back here to the white, I pick it up and I just start immediately, and I just start going around with what I already know. So there's no skipping of the stitches. It was just the first time to do that first color to go around. In my testing trials, I never skipped the first time, and it creates an edge that looks weird on the one side because it's not growing properly. So that's why I skipped a stitch on the first time of the coloring. So I'm just working my way across. I'm not bothering to count. I don't need to. I'm just looking for a corner, which is next. And in this case, it's obviously the same. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. And then you can continue around with what you already know. Okay, so everything works its way out at the end. Let's see, pretty cool. And I'll see you back at the spot in a moment. So I'm coming up on the final corner where all the colors stop, and I will show you how to finish one of these off in a bit. Okay, so we can't go any further. So I found with myself is that when I was a teenager, I get bored pretty quick. So I found by just doing it, this concept, it was just a lot easier for me to be able to get excited about it, because it gives me milestones of watching the colors go around. So you're gonna pick up the next color that's available to you, and you're just gonna spin yourself around just like you had been. You'll treat your corners exactly the same, and you will notice that it will have a complete spin. So I'm gonna do that for this next section here. So you just wanna pick it up and just be able to go around, use your corners, the same method, and then I will show you how to finish one of these off in a moment. So now I've gone all the way around with this color here. So when I start the gray again, the gray is going to pick back up. And if you look at that diagram that I showed you here, the picture, is that you will see that it really does spiral around. So the final color here, you'll be able to count out 6. So it'll be this and this. So there's 1 and 2 so far of revolutions that are going around. So if you really look at it here, you'll see the same thing happening here. So the interesting thing about this blanket is that sometimes you don't want to waste yarn. Well, nobody wants to waste yarn. So even though I'm going to show you how to finish off on one side, you can finish off one color on one side, another color on another, and another color on another side. It's up to you if you want to maximize the amount of yarn. So if you're going to have waste, that's a great way to do it, and it still looks pretty cool too. So let's just say that I'm done, I'm sick and tired of it, it's the right size. So what you want to do is you want to frog back, okay, to pull out, just pull out enough that you can just measure it up and only have one stitch here on the corner. So we have 2 and then chain 2 and 2. So whatever the final color is here, you want to kind of frog this back. Okay, and so I'm going to pull this back here. Okay, so there's just one here, and so you can see that it's perfectly lined up and stays flat. So this is where you're going to want to finish this off. So you're just going to just take your yarn, you'll trim it. Okay, you'll do the one, and then you'll do another one. So if you were just finishing off one color on one side, this is just the way to do it. Okay, so if you had one just finish here, so instead of all 3 finishing on one edge like this, that's something that you can decide. So you're going to pull it through, and I'm going to show you a quick border here. So the only problem here is that you have all the stitches that match all the sides except for this side here. So I'm going to show you the connection spots, and we're just going to do just a single crochet round, but if you want to do double, it's up to you. So let's begin to do that next. So what I would do is that I will get new yarn, or you can choose one of these colors, it's up to you. And you're gonna go into the top corner right here. You might as well get it over and done with. So just go right in and just join your yarn and chain 1 and single crochet back into that same spot. Now the best way to be able to align the stitches is that you look at the distance of how far these are spaced from each other, and what you want to do is that you want to match the distance of the look so that it's kind of the same. The thing is, don't grab it by the post, grab it by the chain work itself. So I'm just going to work into the side of the post but through the chain, and I'm just going to single crochet, just equally spacing these out. So if it starts to ruffle out on you, it means that you are adding too many stitches into the same stitch. And if it's starting to buckle, to pull in like this, it means that you're jumping too quickly. Okay, so I'm just looking at the distance of the spacing of the tops. Okay, and I'm gonna come into the top of here. And then once I have that done, I can just use my regular stitches that I normally have. So I've been able to just to get beyond this. And so I'm just gonna spin around with this single crochet. It's a good way to get started. And then your corners will be 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet, and the dog hair is included in today's tutorial that you'll see. So just go around this, and if you want to add more to your border, you can. Just do this as a good foundation row to get started, and I'll be back at the end of the round in a moment. When you get back around, you're just going into all of the stitch work. You want to finish this corner, so you're going to single crochet and then chain 2 and slip stitch to the top. And if you want to do more rounds, you can, but it's a great way to be able to finish this off. And yes, the spiral is still intact, and yes, you have a border, and yes, it looks amazing. This is it for today, and we hope that you've enjoyed. Please let me know how you did in the comments. Bye-bye.